last night you come off the bench and you end up leading the team and scoring. You didn't miss.
Really?
Or you didn't miss a shot, did you?
I don't think so. Not from the field.
Were you 7 of 7? And but talk about first off the role of just coming off the bench. I mean, I think everybody they want to start a game. They want to be in the starting five. But how do you prepare when the game starts? You're there and kind of waiting to kind of get your name called.
Well, first of all, I'm glad to come off the bench because whatever it takes to help this team win, I'm willing to do. And if they want me to come off the bench, which I think having me do, then I'm all for it. And to just mentally prepare for it, the best way to do is just to make sure you're engaged in the game. Make sure you see what they're running on defense, see what we're doing on offense, see what's working, what's not working. Just mentally being prepared and just staying engaged. That's what I do and what my teammates off the bench, just in Colin Kassick, Justin Everett, Cameron Curl, just a few of them who just like me come off the bench, and we're just mentally ready.
Do you think one of the big reasons is just the energy you bring? I mean, say if the team gets down or the coach looking for some some energy, that's another reason that he calls your name?
Well, just for me and like for the rest of us, I think as a second group, I think we do bring some energy, but I think it's important for the first group to just really start the game off strong and for us to just take it to the next level.
Man, you're quickly becoming the veteran, on this team as you get later in HSU, and when it comes to leadership and just guys kind of depending on you, or you just want to take somebody around your shoulder, like how have you feel in that role?
Well, for me, leadership, my dad always told me leadership comes by just example, and I just try to be that example, that the best I can be, just as in trying to be on time when we're traveling, not being the last person, but being the first person in the gym. For people who I probably put under my wing, maybe possibly a freshman who I think has motivated me, inspired me to just be better, and that's LJ Williams. He's a great guy. He inspired me to be in the gym even more as a freshman, and that's right there. That's just leadership, and just I think another guy who I just talk to here and there, just making sure he's mentally there and physically there is Jameer Mitchell. Right now he's hurt, but I still talk to him, making sure he's mentally there because I know what he's going through in the sense of just being hurt and just wanting to play. So just those two guys, just to name a few.
Yeah, you've had the comeback from injury and wanting to compete and kind of watch from the sideline. But what did you kind of learn from now and that, and kind of attributing that, knowing that hey, you've been watching now, getting your chance to get on the court?
Well, it's definitely a beautiful view when you're on the sideline, just really watching and seeing the game at a different angle, and just coming back from it. It just made me love it more, made me appreciate it a whole lot more, because at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to be this physically opposing the rest of my life. I'm obviously going to naturally deteriorate, so it just made me appreciate it more and just understand that basketball isn't forever, and you have to love it as much as you can, while you can, and just appreciate it and just play as hard as you possibly can.
When I think of Calvin Young, I obviously think of some of the memorable dunks throughout the years, but watching the guys last night, I think you have some competition this year.
Definitely, and I've always probably been known as the dunker, and that's good because that brings energy, but just the fact that we have guys who can probably out-jump me and just do a better job of dunking the ball than I can, then I'm all for it, because I think it's great, because I love it when Lumberjack Arena's rocking, and when it's rocking, then it's a beautiful place. And probably our best dunker right now is probably Devontae Hacker. He's big and imposing, and he throws it down. Another good dunker is Jalen Terry. He's freakishly athletic. Just, I think, 40 plus inch vert, and just looking at those two guys, I'm just thinking like, wow. Now I know how it feels when people see me dunk. It's amazing.
Obviously, as time goes on at HSU, when they bring in players that they want to take Calvin's spot, what have you done like in the off season and everything just to kind of improve your game? What have you worked on the most?
I think just mentally trying to be more consistent, because the last few years I think I've been very inconsistent, and I think this year I want to be more consistent. And whether for my spot, I don't think I have a spot, because my spot is just to make sure this team is doing the best it can. And if someone wants to start in front of me, go ahead. If they think I need to start, I'm all for it. So when it comes to my spot, I don't have a spot. So that's just my mentality. I'm just getting better just to help the team out, not for my own benefits.
Well, let's talk about Saturday. Chico State conference opener. Obviously, you guys rivals, and then the fact that ESPN's going to be in town on Saturday. I'm sure you're more than excited for this one.
Just talking about excitement. It's how I felt the very first time we played them. Nervous, anxious, excited. That's kind of how I feel about this game. And it's a whole new meeting because one, rivals for however many years, probably 4 or 5 decades, and the fact that we're adding ESPN to it, and the fact that it's the first conference game, it's a lot riding on it. But I think these next couple of days of practice, I think we're gonna have the right mental edge to prepare for Chico State on Saturday, and I think hopefully the fans enjoy the basketball game, because I'm gonna enjoy it. I know Coach Kinder's gonna enjoy it. I know Coach Rich Mendoza's gonna enjoy it, and I think as long as we play hard and as long as we practice hard and get ready for it, I think it's gonna be an exciting game. Because I know for a fact they're gonna come in ready, and we're gonna be ready, and it's gonna be a good game.
You bring up Mendoza, and I know he likes defense.
He loves defense.
And also some nice, obviously the rebounding where you guys dominated last night, and just talk about for you guys defensively and what Mendoza has meant to kind of come in back to the HSU this year.
Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure the fans are loving our new team of size, and I think they love the fact that we're out rebounding our opponents so far. And I think defensively, I believe we're holding most opponents by around 40%, which that gives a lot of credit to Coach Rich Mendoza. He teaches it, preaches it, and he forces down our throats, which we needed, because last year we wasn't that good of a defensive team. This year, I think we're a better defensive team, and all the praises go to Coach Rich Mendoza and Coach Steve Kinder, because without those guys, we wouldn't be here. And obviously, they're setting the standards for defense. 40% or below, have to out-rebound our opponents, and so far we're doing that, and I think if we do that against Chico State, we should win the game.
Sounds good. Thank you for your time. Thanks for coming in.
Yep.